And within these Himalayas, you see little hidden community, hidden villages. In this picture, this is a village get-together in a village called Chitku in Sangla Valley. And everything is handmade. So made from wool, they have a lot of sheep, and the hats, the jackets, the trousers, the shawls, everything. And what can be more sustainable than these communities? Instead of pushing our modern inventions, plastic and so on, and I think we need something to preserve and to kind of give back to these communities. And within that, you see still local life, amazing skills. You see people cooking on fire in the villages, still the way they lived maybe 5,000, 6,000 years ago, like the Indus civilization. Still carrying on, now emerging with the modern, they may have a gas. So the way they used to prepare their the sticks, they will only use the thin sticks which are saved from the leaves from the cows. So the cows will eat leaves, that will become compost, and then the sticks will be used as fuel to cook food. That was the energy. And in the same time, then the ash will be used in the field. So everything was from nothingness to nothingness. Leaves will become compost, that will go into the fields as well. So I think in one of our tools, we also help and get into the schools. We try to, now we know with the air pollution, what's happening. So we try to push the modern kind of what we have learned through education. We visit schools. We try to say, with the cars bad, we shouldn't be using the fuel, all these things, and also promoting trees and plantation. So in this picture, interesting thing you will see is the plowing. So I'm plowing there with the oxen. You see the hill in the background. And I'll tell you a story in a minute about that top of the hill and plowing in the flatland way below. So in the same time in the villages, you see old people trees where people if you have seen the Avatar movie, like the community used to gather under the trees, how they used to have their village meetings, people will be just sitting there for leisure. And you can still go there, you can still visit these places. And so that's very close to, not far from Shimla, just 50 kilometers away. And also our bond with trees. So there are this is an age-old culture. If we go to the village, we see that there are cultures where people will plant trees, they will put a bracelet around the tree and make a relationship like a brotherhood with the tree, because trees are true friends who give us fresh air. They take all the pollution, carbon dioxide, and give us fresh oxygen. What they breathe out, we take that in. And in the same time, you see people plowing in the fields with oxen. This is a farmer preparing the paddy rice field. And so that's how you plow in the muddy water. You have to really get it dipped in water. And then so ladies are pulling the rice saplings, and then they replant them. So there's a story I want to tell you about that picture where I said, remember the hill in the background, that my grandmother told me that around 100 years ago, so when you plant seeds of paddy rice, you have to dip them in water, and then they sprout, and that's when you kind of sprinkle them. So one day when this farmer did that, he carried all this equipment this man is using, the collar for the oxen, and this plow-like looking, which flattens the ground tool. So he was carrying them on his shoulders, and a bucket or a basket of the seeds, the sprouted seeds. So when he sprinkled them, and he finished his job, he went home, he washed everything and went home, and he walked all the way up to the top of the hill. And on the top of the hill, when he's putting everything away, he took his hat off. When he took his hat off, one of the seeds fell down from the hat. So when the seed fell down, he picked the seed. You see the old feeling these people had. He could not bear that the thousands of seed he had already put in the field, and they will grow, but not that one seed. It is a fascinating story that the man walked all the way down from that hill, came to the field, put that one seed back in that paddy rice field, and then went back home. So my grandmother told that some of the people, the traditional people, they're so much in line with nature. Every seed was alive. So that kind of feeling and stories in these villages we find, and living in harmony with nature. So we also put these things together with our tours. This is one of our school expeditions where children go, they will help local farmers to plant paddy rice, and they did. This is a school from Yorkshire. They planted the whole field. It was amazing. And so seed, why it has value? Because in these parts of the world, the terrace fields, very small fields, it's not mass manufacturing. So this lady is guarding these seeds, they're drying lentils, few little things, whatever they grow in their terrace fields, that she's drying them. So every seed is very, very important, because one seed will turn into the sacks and sacks of crop. So that's why, and this is not, this is from October, this picture. It's still you see that in the villages. And also another thing of the sustainability is you see the flour mill. So they take their seeds into the flour mill, no pollution, no fuel, no electricity. These are the turbines running with water, and you exchange them with flour and seeds. So similar thing, we explore these things, we go into these places, and again, we include plantation in our program. Every tourist will go with us, and I also request all the tour operators and tourists that anywhere we go, at least include 1 or 2 plants and go visit a local family in that area, wherever you go in the world, and try to plant a tree. And the trees are amazing things. And another thing with trees is also, I think our city trees are under threat from a lot of paving stones, this, that. And the leaves trees drop down in autumn for themselves to make into compost. The earthworm will break them down and the roots will have them as compost. That is not happening in cities, and also in a lot of places. You see, we're trying to cover, and sometimes we take the leaves away. So I think that is also, we need to kind of pay attention. So we with school children, and with adults, this is what we're doing is we're hunting for in the wild, we're hunting for some plants which are growing naturally under the big trees, because they can't survive, so we dig them, and then we replant them. We ask the farmer, where would you like these trees? So we do similar, these kind of things we include as expedition leaders in every tour we did. In November, we did a tour, we planted 200 trees in 2019 total. And I did a cycling trip with Teens Unite. They raised a lot of money for charity. And we also contributing, we're changing lives in a way that we sponsor children, and we prepare a goodie bag for children to have with, if you're going, it's very easy to buy toothbrush, toothpaste, drawing copy, some pens, and take few, go to local school and give few things away. Because although India is developing, things happening in the cities, the village is still very simple. You see that picture in a boat. It's picture from November. Still ladies living a very simple life. They're digging for leaves, they're finding roots and going by a boat. Very, very simple way of life. And also in the same time, the water is a big issue. The filtering, not to use plastic, trying to use filters, metal bottles. So we as an expedition leader, we started doing now metal bottles as well. Hopefully, you should be able to find them on our website. So that's kind of the village life and culture.